and welcome back to Coaster Barras. We're here for our part 2 of our Europa Park trip.
Yes, if you haven't seen our Ed and Edda's preview yet of the new ride, or part 1 of the vlog, check the channel, it's most likely already there. But as you can see, we are indeed back to hit the rest of the park.
Today we're starting in Switzerland. First up, we've got the Mack Rides Wild Mouse coaster.
Yeah, starting with a family coaster off the bat, and there's also a few other rides in the area. So we thought we'd start with the Wild Mouse.
And that Wild Mouse in question is Matterhorn Blitz. And first impressions of the queue line, you have to admit there is a ton of animatronics littered all over the place, and they're just a bit slightly creepy.
They're not creepy at all. I actually think they look really good for their age, which, bearing in mind, the ride was made in 1999.
Yeah, I have to admit, that's a bit of an age right there. I think it's just because they've got that uncanny valley effect. But the animals, they look good.
They're so cute.
Very cute.
Look at that little foal.
And they're not creepy at all, and you've got little people tending to them too. Either way, let's try this Wild Mouse out.
It's really cool how you go up though, and you tilt left and right as you're going up the lift.
We are in a chicken coop.
We are in a chicken coop. The GoPro probably didn't capture that part, but you know, being that dark.
It's certainly bright out here.
Oh yeah, it's a blinding experience. But you can't complain about good weather.
No.
And that blue water there from, look at that. To the left, Sarah.
Oh,
beautiful. Hey! Woo! I see Voltron in the distance.
There's the other one. This is not trimming like a lot of Wild Mouse.
It's really not trimming though, it's really smooth.
No, it's good. That drop was fun.
Maybe it speeds up later and does trim, who knows, but... There's a camera shot. And I believe that's it.
I would say that was one of the smoothest Wild Mouses I've ever been on.
Probably the smoothest one we've ever been on.
In fact, it's his first Mack Ride Wild Mouse we've ever been on.
I think it's the first Mack, yeah.
That maybe says a lot.
Probably. Decent ride though.
Yeah, it's good.
There is a plane ride next door though.
Suspended column.
Plane ride.
Suspended column.
We've got 2 private jets. Wow. I've got the faster plane.
Nope.
You're on the inside track, it's cheating.
And after that chill but fun plane ride,
Suspended polyp.
it's a plane.
It's a polyp.
We entered the Switzerland area proper. I mean, look at all this beautiful theming. The place is absolutely gorgeous. As we headed towards the Bobbin, which I'll pronounce for once, is the Schweizer Bobbin. Butchered, I know, but it's close enough.
Swiss Bob run in English.
Yes. And for a change, Sarah is taking over the filming duties, as you can clearly see, because my dainty booty wanted the back row.
Dainty. Very shallow.
Short and nice. Oh, it's still going.
Oh, they have Dutchland as well. No, that's it. I quite like that. It's good. Well, Switzerland is a great little area. Both coasters are really fun, and the suspended pull-up was really good fun as well.
Yeah, the theming in the area, as per the rest of Europa Park, is literally gorgeous. It fits in so well.
Yeah, there's literally ski lift chairs right behind us. How
There
fun is that?
In the middle of an area where you can see the bobsled coaster just circling around you in a helix. It's pretty fun. The bobsled coaster itself is actually remarkably smooth, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
short.
really, really very smooth. And the Wild Mouse was extremely smooth as well.
Yeah, as you heard on ride there, we were like, what? It's not trimming anywhere or anything like that. It's like, this is really smooth. And again, the little plane, also cool.
Yeah, it was actually really fun.
Or you keep shouting at me, pull-up.
It's a pull-up.
Pull-up,
Suspended
pull-up.
pull-up.
Anyway, with the bobsled going around at speed, I think it's time to head to Italy for Piccolo Mundo.
And Castello de Medici Geisterslaus, or Ghost Haunted Castle. Sorry if I butchered that.
Let's go check them out. Venetian rivers. Cupids.
And after Piccolo Mondo, we headed to Castello de Medici Geisterslaus, which is a Mack Ride's haunted dark ride that utilises a Mack Endless system that spans 2 floors.
You got squirted by the demon dude.
I did.
I like this though.
Yeah, it does. Stand in the danger zone.
And viewer beware, you're in for a scare, because this ride is not necessarily themed for young children. It is a bit dark here and there, so just keep that in mind.
The story behind the ride is that Lorenzo de' Medici found a stone tablet with mysterious writing on it that grants him immortality if he sacrifices the souls of his guests. The second floor shows the attic and how Lorenzo's guests meet their end. At the end of the ride, riders themselves are taken into what appears to be hell, implying that they too have been sacrificed by the man of the house.
I like the skeleton. Look at the mask. No, to your right.
Oh, yeah.
Holograms on the fish. Skeletons. Like a masquerade dance. Vampires dancing. Oh, look at that. More hangings.
Oh yeah, there's like a dude that pops out of the portrait.
Yeah, so yeah. We've got a demon holding him.
Quite versatile.
That demon face, look at the snake.
Oh yeah.
That demon face is there.
Bring it to a mouth.
Go
Mouse. Yeah, hell's mouse.
And before we headed over to Arthur to get on another coaster, we took a quick pit stop in Sarah's homeland of Ireland, at least how it's called in Germany.
Well, technically I'm from Northern Ireland. Either way, this is an area that is for the youngest in the family to enjoy. Some of the rides include a Zare Rockin' Tug, Spinning Dragons, a Mack Rides Calypso, track rides, play areas.
And let's not forget one of the most extreme coaster creds in the park. You better hold on to your hats for this one.
Bear.
Intense drop time. Oh my god, that's the most intense coaster here. G-Force is unrivaled.
And then we headed to Arthur, the Mack Ride steel enclosed inverted spinning dark ride powered coaster.
Which also came with its own hilarious surprise that you'll see in a minute.
What's she screaming up? Oh god, here it comes.
And as you might have heard for a split second there, that song is Still Dre by Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and it has got a lot of words in there at the very start of the song that are quite non-family friendly, and surprisingly, they are not censored. Hence why you're hearing me now, rather than that part of the ride.
My seat's vibrating. we just came off Arthur.
The Mack ride, steel enclosed, inverted, spinning dark ride, powered coaster in the Minimoys Kingdom, and that was an absolute mouthful.
Definitely is. I mean, for me, it's a merge. I said to you yesterday, for me, it's a merge between a dark ride and a coaster. I didn't know which to classify it as. I know officially it's a coaster, but for me, I was like, it feels more dark ride than coaster.
It's a dark ride coaster.
Yes, it's a new concept my little brain can't wrap around, but it is that.
It actually felt quite forceful today.
It was a bit more forceful today, and it's really, apparently there's a movie based on it.
Yeah, there is.
Think
Yeah,
you've
there
seen
is.
it?
Yeah, I think I seen it like back when, ages ago. It's called Arthur, obviously. That's why the ride's called Arthur.
It is an enjoyable ride. However, there is one thing on there which caught us off guard yesterday, and we found it hilarious, and technically today as well, as you saw in the POV, censored as it may be. If you know the song Still Dre by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, it plays the first 15-20 seconds of that song with multiple words that you would not expect uncensored in English. But
On a family coaster.
yeah, there was a toddler next to us yesterday, and the parent was trying to cover the kid's ears when that came on. But that aside, it's still a fun ride, despite the fact that that's an hilarious thing that will happen every time you go on it.
Yeah, the theming is really cute as well.
It is. It's definitely worth going on, and yeah, it's a new ride type that I enjoy.
But after leaving the Minimoys Kingdom, it was time to head over to the charming little Holland area, which in its own right has got a few rides like teacups and the such, to try out the famed Pirates in Batavia Dark Boat ride and see if it really lives up to the hype.
Stürme, furchterregende Wasserfälle, trutzige Festungen und natürlich
Feuertiger für sich zurück. So würde die Macht erlangen, all seine Fahrer zu schrecken. Doch zulassen, dass der Feuertiger
Smell pods. Hold on, is that Roland Mack? It's Roland Mack.
I think it's Pirate Roland Mack.
Pirate Roland Mack.
der Feuertiger überwältigt. Groß.
There goes the lovely food smells.
Sieh sie dir an, Rocky. Famose wir. Der Feuertiger.
And if you heard Sarah there, it did indeed smell very delicious.
So naturally, once we hopped off the boat, we went over to Bamboo Bay for a bowl or two.
And once we devoured the absolutely divine food, we headed next door to Scandinavia for something else quite piratey-like.
It's Viking, Steve.
Well, yes, pirate swing boat, but themed around Vikings. Either way, it featured a dude having the absolute time of his life.
But before heading to Austria, we popped into Snorri-touren, a dark ride themed around Rolantica's cute mascot Snorri, which is directly opposite another restaurant, which we also highly recommend, called Fjord Restaurant.
Yeah, they've got some delicious chips in the full park, to be honest. I had a little fish cake burger and Sarah got a...
Schnitzel, loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, and you get a view of the rapids going past, so it's pretty good. And at this point, we were well overdue for another roller coaster, so we found the Alpen Express, a cute little powered coaster that we thought we'd try out.
Jetzt ab. Bitte Vorsicht an der Bahnsteig
Well, after a lot of little dark rides and boat rides there, we finally came back to a coaster, and it was the Alpen Express.
Which is a Mack Rides powered coaster.
It's what you'd expect. It's nothing too intense. It's a family coaster. It's still chill. There's a lot of good theming around it.
See, I actually like a powered coaster. I think they're quite fun.
Oh, yeah, it's like Runaway Mine Train.
Yeah,
it's like,
they're just chill.
Choo choo, they're always really cool. There's like a geyser in the middle of it that comes up with a little troll and a little frog. It's just really charming. There's like for example, there's a gnome right there digging some sapphires or whatever they are.
A diamond mine.
Diamond mine.
Yeah.
Sapphires, diamonds, they're all similar. Either way, up next we have
Josephine's Magical Imperial Magic Journey in English. And no, I am not pronouncing this in German. It isn't happening.
I mean, it's a mouthful in English from the sounds of it. We've got that, and then if we can find the adventure trail, we will head there and see what shenanigans we can get up to before some water rides are slowly impending. They're getting closer and closer.
At least it's a nicer day today.
It is. As you can see, the sun's just like beating. But, you know, that's the best day for water rides. So let's see what we get up to, shall we?
The boat ride was a nice change of pace for once and gave us a chill opportunity to rest in the sun and enjoy the beautiful displays.
As well as all the wildlife that kept approaching us, like these little ducks and the such. All the while we tried locating the dreaded adventure trail in the area, which we eventually did find, and it was right in front of our face.
Well, we found the adventure trail. I suppose we should see if we survived this. And yes, it was literally right above us. Since we talked down there about that coaster. Sometimes my potato brain never ceases to amaze me. Max 120 kilo. Wait, what? What do I weigh? I don't know if I'm above the maximum. No, wait, I'm fine. 100 kilos, 220 pounds, I'm fine. Boys. Ah, more wasps. See, we're back. It's not Merlin wasps, but it's wasps. That goes down further than you'd think. I think I'm too heavy, you know. I'm just like crushing these wires to the ground.
Some of them have bladders on
Ah, my elbow. Ow. See, it's not just me hitting my elbows. It's deadly. There's like rock climbing bits that you smash your elbows off that I've already injured at Rulantica. Hoi! Ah! It's quite tall, as you can see. As you can see below us is the powered coaster, and of course the log flume. And if you look over there, there is a powered coaster all in dry dock.
That's the old train.
The old train. So that is the classical one there before the horrendous fire. It's pretty cool they kept it as like, ooh, see that? There's got LED screens behind here. Oh, look at this. Oh crap! I got hit by a geyser. It came from down there. I find it rude. It got me in the face again. How'd it get me more than you?
Dragon surf.
Oh yeah. I just love how the adventure trail literally integrates with the log flume. It's such a, and the coaster. It's such a cool idea. I just wish these were working so I could attack someone like at Rulantica. Sadly, there's no water. There's no Vasha. No Vasha. 9 Vasha. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh. Hey, you know what? It might be doable. Might. Ah. The drink is getting caught now. I don't think you're supposed to come up here with a bag. I'm stuck! You know what? I've got an idea. I'll pass you the bag. This is what you call coaster bar's ingenuity. Ah yes, bars. I was about to say, where do we grab? Ah, I should have worn knee pads.
I have to say the stairs are easier. Should we take the slides?
Right, these slides are bad for me. Watch my head, apparently. Alright, that was chill. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I've been traumatised by the Rulantica slides. I think we've done everything on the trail now.
Yeah, we have. Right.
Yeah. Trail completed. Oh, this is quite aggressive. Man to port. To port! Starboard!
And it was at this point we decided to head over to Spain to try out the flat rides.
Columbus Jolie, a Mack Rides Sea Storm, and Ferrier Swing, the Mack Rides Matterhorn.
Both rides are quite chill, quite fun, we can recommend jumping on them at least once. But after those, we had to head over to the EP Express to make our way all the way back to Germany so we could store away our stuff and change into our water clothes because the water rides were next.
First of which was the classic log flume.
Oh yeah, that's cold. That's cold. Oh yeah. Woo! It's a warm day though. Perfect day for it. The dragons in the distance. We're entering the lava area. Here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. It's just a spray. It's nothing.
The tall one is always red.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's about the same. Both drops get you the same amount of wetness.
No, I think the first one had more water
Woo! Look at the wave swinger.
than the bigger one.
Beautiful
I find
park.
that a lot with log flume.
Well, the log flume wasn't as bad as we may have thought. A lot of times they're really wet. How did you find it, Sarah Barrett, in your Palpatine? Sarah is in the poncho as per. She said she found it fine. Next up, I think we're heading to Portugal, so another water ride on the go. What's in Portugal, Sarah Barrett? Atlantica Super Splash? Remember correctly?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think it's Atlantica Super Splash. Atlantica or Atlantis? One of the two. One of the two.
Atlantis Super Splash.
Atlantis is Sarah's vote. I'm not sure either way, but we'll find out in a second. Will we get wet?
It turned out to be Atlantica Super Splash. I'm getting it mixed up with Atlantis Adventure since Steve worried me by dropping the GoPro clip on that ride.
Backless drop, isn't it really? I didn't expect a backless drop. There you go. And obviously we are going down there. Once we turn on the turntable, straight into the splash, not much to it. It's just all about the super splash. Let's see what this is like. Woo! Got a jewel! Oh! Oh! Oh yeah! Oh!
Yeah, that's why you don't sit on the end.
Oh! Oh! The dolphins! I forgot about the dolphins. Oh! Oh!
Yeah, now you're wishing you've got poncho.
Ponchos are for the weak. Oh. Yeah. I have to admit, that one was a bit more of a sucker.
And with a few water rides left to go, we decided to hop on to fjord rafting at the Intamin River Rapids.
And considering how rough the waves were looking, we were in for a soaker.
We're getting splashed. Ah, yeah. It missed you though.
Just about.
Pretty roof. Ceiling's really nice. Still like lights again. LEDs. There's a restaurant, Sarah. Oh, it's cold.
Down the back as well.
Oh yeah, that on my head. There you go, you finally got wet. Waterfall coming up. Oh, wow. Oh, oh. Oh. That landed right on my head. What? Well, the Rapids was certainly the wettest ride we've been on yet.
Definitely, which is hilarious when you think we've been on a log flume and a super splash.
Yeah, but a guys that came out of there and literally hit us both in the head, so I mean, at least it wasn't the kids on the ride. I'm sure they would have hated it. But we're finally at
Poseidon!
the last water ride. It's a long way to get around the park, but let's see how wet we get on this. Well, it looks like Poseidon's broken down, and since time is very limited, we might not be getting on it, which is a slight shame, but we are here 3 more days, but the weather's going to be very cold and rainy, or on and off, and we are not going on a water ride in that temperature, so yeah. There is a guy up there working right now. There seems to be a stuck boat right at the top. We'll give... Oh, it's going. It's going. Right, there you go. It's got one moving. If he gets the rest of them, I assume they're going to open the ride. Because once we get changed out of these wet clothes, we are not going back on any water rides on this trip. That one went past as well. So I assume once they've sent and cleared all these, they're going to open it.
But it was finally time to head over to Iceland and jump on 2 of Europa Park's headline coasters.
The first up being the iconic Mack Ride steel launch coaster, Blue Fire Mega Coaster.
Someone is really scared. Woo! Woo! Ejector air time. Someone is really scared behind us. Woo! Woo! There goes wodan. Woo!
She's riding quite good today.
She's riding brilliantly today.
Fast and sleek.
Sleek. Blue Fire Mega Coaster. Woo!
Well, you've just seen a front row ride POV of Blue Fire Mega Coaster.
Yes, another Mack beauty right there. It's an extremely smooth coaster. It's a beautiful ride. One which we kind of prefer on the front row.
Yeah, weirdly enough, yes. I mean, we went on the back row the other day and we like it. It's just a really different experience because it kind of like feels like you're getting pushed into your seat quite a large amount of the time. Like you can actually feel it in your chest quite strongly getting pushed in there. Whereas on the front, like the ejector airtime's brilliant.
So clearly we like the ejector airtime more. I mean, it's got some beautiful elements, of course. The vertical loop is obviously always appreciated, but the inline twist, I think that's my favourite part of the coaster.
It was really good at the end there.
It's really cool.
And it was like riding really good. on the front, like when we were just on it.
And
It's good.
Yeah, it's warmed up beautifully throughout the day. And of course, you do get a little dark shot as you're leaving the station as well. So as an all-rounder, I'd say it's pretty up there on the 5 like chill max that are, you can't complain anything about it really.
No, it was just that good.
Really.
And even the kid behind us was having a right scary time, wasn't she?
Hey, that's the sign of a good ride right there. But next up, we've got Wodan, the timber coaster. Here we go. He's really warmed up. I'm only saying he because it's Odin. Odin. Usually I say she, but you know.
Wickerman's a he.
Wickerman's a he.
Cullen was a he.
The Cullen's a he.
Maybe we should just say wooden coaster.
A Colossus is just an ass.
Don't think that was a he as well.
With no ass, but Colossus ass nonetheless. I will say it would be nice if we had a dark scene here, wouldn't it? Like Heidi.
Yeah, it would. Hey, that was good. Enjoyed that.
Well, we just came off Wodan, the timber coaster, and it was a brilliant ride near the end of the day.
Yeah, we got front row.
Yes, we asked for it. We got it, thankfully. Just for POV purposes, we do prefer it on the back, or near the back.
Yeah, but the front row is actually really good on this coaster, like really forceful. And at this time of the day, it's running like a dream.
Yeah, it's not a Wickerman situation where it's bad at the front.
No.
In fact, I think that's the only wooden coaster I've ridden where it is kind of like tame at the front. The rest we've ridden are all the other GCIs have been brilliant.
Yeah,
So-
that's true actually. It's weird how that is.
Weird. But either way, like at the front, you still get ejector air time at points, your butt's off the seat, and it's such an intense coaster all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really forceful constantly, like the whole way around. Just as soon as you get off the top of the lift hill and all the way around, yeah, just keeps going. It's good. I love it.
It's intensity unrivaled after that point. It's just a brilliant coaster.
The good thing about coming to Europa Park on a busier day is the fact that you actually get to use some of the extended queue lines and see some of the awesome theming that's in them. And one in particular is Wodan.
Yes, because throughout the extended queue, it literally takes you through every single, almost of the Norse realms.
First up, you go through a sort of blue area where you have these Vikings holding up the ceiling and there's like blue diamonds about to fall through. And it looks really cool. Next up, you've got a red area where you have these massive statues on either side of the walkway, and they've got like their faces all lit up and it looks like fire, and it's really cool. And then you come into the green area where it starts off with this big snake and there's like smoke coming out of his mouth, and then you suddenly go into more of a garden-y type area where there's got a tree statue. I guess that's what you'd call it. Well, that's what I'm calling it. And then finally you get to the station.
And in the station itself, it seems like there may be Valkyries between the struts of the station that actually turn their heads and look as the train comes in, and they follow you on the way out, and they also make a horrifying screech. It's just theming on the next level.
3 days later.
So Sarah Barra, what is your final verdict on Silver Star? We've had plenty of rides now on various days.
Yeah, so unfortunately that Wednesday that we came, I had that really bad run. It's not been replicated, so I'm quite glad about that, to be honest. And I've actually found that it's pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, because that one ride we had was horrible for both of us, where we don't really see the appeal with this coaster. It had no airtime. It was really rough for you, and for me, I just felt it was boring. It had no speed, no airtime, no nothing. But ever since then, we've had nothing but great rides on it.
Yeah, and I actually even tried the outside seat again today, which I have been putting off, but I did try again today because I always say give it a go, and it was completely fine. Airtime, and it wasn't rough at all.
So maybe it was the weather. Maybe we were thinking wind plus rain equals, like you said earlier when we were talking about this, the train just can't get a grip on the track.
So it was like sort of shaking around a lot, which made it very rough and horrible.
But again, we're not experts with that. If you've ridden Silver Star in the rain quite a lot, you can let us know down below. However, we did get a windy ride the other day. It was quite windy, and that did actually create some more rattle. So we're thinking maybe it is a combination of rain plus wind.
Yeah, but the rattle didn't actually make the ride experience any worse. So we're a bit confused about that one, but we're happy that it was fine the rest of the trip. And this just shows you should always give it another go.
But the final thing we can say about Silver Star before we go over and test Voltron a bit more, just to give our final thoughts on the entire trip, is it still has airtime even when it's slow, because of course this is really early in the morning. It is quite slow, noticeably slow today.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's a lot slower.
But your ass is still off the seat, right? You're getting the airtime.
It is still off the seat, which is brilliant. You want that on a coaster.
Yes.
Any time of day, any weather, yeah.
So you might not be getting the intense speed or ferocity of it, but you're getting your airtime, which is what that is. It's an airtime machine. So it's just a beautiful coaster that you can recommend, just maybe not in the rain or wind.
And in all fairness, I'd just like to mention again how amazing the operations at this park are. We've had some busy days over the weekend and barely waited in the queues at all. And I believe this is due to Europa Park not having any fast pass, as this simplifies the queue system for ride staff and removes queue bias so everyone gets on in a decent time. And that's a subject we're planning on doing a video on later, so stay tuned.
The way I describe it right now is it is a lot more buffeting. You are getting a lot more.
You're on the outside of the track rather than being on it.
But again, I'm not holding on again, so that's the reason. Maybe if I held on, it probably would be a lot easier to stay in place.
I just don't like this road.
Feels weird holding on. It doesn't make a difference. Again, tolerable,
It
but
doesn't make a difference being on this seat. I just don't like this row. I hate third row.
so you hate the inside seat for being boring.
I just
The row itself.
don't like third row.
Well, that's Voltron for a few more rides for the data set. What's the overall verdict?
I think it's a good ride, depending what row you're on. I mean, I have actually had quite a few trains now. Most of them have been on the outside. I have had a few inside ones. Outside's great. Front row is brilliant if you get front row. I hate the third row, but it doesn't cause me a headache. It's the one coaster where even though it rattles like hell, it doesn't cause me a headache. It's very weird.
You dislike the third row, but it's not like a hate situation. Again, I only had the one ride where I was like, I do not want to ride this ever again. That was on my third ride or so. Ever since then, again, that was on the rainy day and the windy day, and it was on an outer seat. The outer seats are noticeably more rough, as many have said in the past, ever since opening day, but they're manageable. It's for me, it's more comfortable on the centre seats. For you, you don't really mind it too much on the outer seats.
No, it doesn't really bother me. In all fairness, that I said on this last ride that we had that I could cope with the rattleness. It was the person screaming right behind my ear that was worse, to be honest.
Which says it's not necessarily that bad. Again, a few rides I came off of a headache, but it wasn't necessarily too bad. It's manageable because the layout of the ride, the theme of the ride, everything about the ride is just brilliant.
But front row, definitely best.
Front row's so smooth. Front row is like the key. But there's also other good things about Europa Park we didn't mention yet.
Yeah, so this park is really good for accessibility reasons. So there's a monorail, an EP Express, which is kind of a sort of monorail, I guess, but it's like faster and goes around more areas of the park. And then you also have a train.
Yeah, and it basically allows less able-bodied people to get around the park. Like, other parks don't do this. Alton Towers, not really good for accessibility, despite what they claim. Thorpe the same, Blackpool the same, all these other UK parks we're used to, even Fantasyland. The accessibility here is just through the roof. We've never seen it as good. We're like, wow.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of people here with like broken legs and foot, and there's still loads of rides for them to enjoy, even if they can't go on a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's fun for the whole family, even your dog, of course. Plenty of dogs here. Again, there's shows on, like we saw Zorro and we saw the ice show,
show
with Ed and Edda. It was pretty cool. And of course, there is also loads of stage shows outside.
And there's lots of flat rides, there's lots of little boat rides that you can go just watch the scenery. Absolutely stunning on a gorgeous day. Even on a not so gorgeous day, it's still pretty good. And there's lots of indoor rides and everything. There's just
dark
so
rides,
much,
flying
yeah.
theatre. There's literally the gardens themselves, the scenery of it. People just walk around and enjoy it. And of course, some more tamer water rides. It's just a really fun park where it fills every single niche for every member of the family, from all ages to your pet. And even if you've disabled or got an injury, everyone can enjoy the park.
Yeah, which is also really very good because that's what you want. You want something for everybody.
Which is what Europa Park excel at. And with that being said, be like a barra.
And keep coasting.
Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed the vlogs.